Hi there, people. Welcome to Spray Love. And today I'm going to talk about one topic. What if your father actually smelled better than you? And yes, this is um, another review on, yet another review on this fragrance right here. It's called Drakkar Noir. So, Drakkar Noir by Guy Laroche in Paris. So, this fragrance right there, oh my god. I was like, I was waiting to do a full review on that one because at first I was like, it kind of smell like shaving products nowadays. It's not anything super, um, you know, f- fragrance worthy. It just like to spray that on and everything. But I gave it another chance, and the fact is, it's grown on me a lot, and it just smells fantastic. It's just like incredible because, yes, in the first sniff, when you first spray it on, you get that kind of like they call the barbasol vibe, the shaving foam kind of vibe that this fragrance gives. It's very clean. It's kind of like a barbershop out of the shower kind of cleanliness that you first like. This is the first thing that gets to you, and you're like, yeah, but there's other clean fragrances that are less, cheap smelling, soapy cheap smelling than this one. But there's like this thing, wow, the dry down on like Drakkar Noir. Oh my god. I was like not prepared. It's so nice. And every time it's very complex. So sometimes I pick up different elements than other times. Uh, One of these like past weeks I've worn it a lot. Like I've worn it almost every day, and always enjoying just picking up on different things in that fragrance. I pick up a lot of cinnamon in the fragrance, a lot of cinnamon, and actually in the dry down you get the leather, and that is like amazing. When you actually start picking up on that leather, it's just like, oh, this is powerful. This is so powerful. So yeah, what is it like? What are the notes in that fragrance? I'm really not sure what notes are in there. I know that in almost every 80s fragrances there was this flower called carnation. I don't even know what that smells like, to be honest. And I know that there's probably like cinnamon and spices, and back in the days I think it was pretty popular to have that kind of fresh spices in there, like Old Spice, like whatever. Um, there's the leather like note that just comes at the end, and it's completely amazing. Um, I don't know what like how to describe exactly like the notes. There's something fresh up top. Up top, it's really like this classic kind of a barbershop feel, kind of a aftershave or shaving foam kind of a vibe. Very clean, very proper. But then down in the bass notes, there's all these nuances that just gets more masculine, more like hairy chest kind of a vibe. So there's like no, it's like a clean, um, no facial hair kind of a vibe, but then it just hits you with the hairs. It's just like that. So this is, yeah, this is, you've seen your dads wear it. You've seen your like a lot of older guys wear it in the 80s, in the 90s. This was probably like the Dior Sauvage of that time, like the Sauvage or Eros of that time. And I'm pretty much sure that in the future I'll look at Dior Sauvage with like as much nostalgia as someone from the 80s would get back to Drakkar Noir. Um, the only difference is, yeah, these people, they were like the people from the 80s, they kind of know that scent, and sometimes quite like it. Sometimes they quite hate it because it was everywhere, and it's just like Eros. I can't stand Eros right now because I love that scent. I was like in love with that scent, and then it's just worn too much and by the wrong people, and it's just the association in my head is not quite what it could have been, you know. But Drakkar Noir, it's the same. They just like everyone was wearing that. It was probably a lot of the, you know, douchey fuckboys of the time, and just like nowadays, it's Eros and Sauvage. So yeah, the association is quite bad, but you know, it's the fact that it's became like a dad scent, like the associated to our dads, means that they've been somewhat successful. Okay, no, just joking, but uh, yeah, this one. But I can understand why people would gravitate toward this fragrance and Eros and Sauvage and everything. But there, it's really well done, and it's powerful, and it has that super sexy, very masculine, almost macho vibe, but very clean. It's not like a super dirty fragrance. It has that undertone that just gives it more power, more, you know, more muscles. Like it's more muscular and more muscular fragrance just because of the leather added to it and some other elements that just make it. But then there's the lavender and stuff that just gives it a very clean vibe, a very likable vibe. So it's kind of a, you know, it's a no-brainer kind of all situations fragrance. It can smell pretty classy. I'm pretty sure that you're wearing like a black tuxedo. It's just amazing. But if you're wearing just like I'm wearing right now, that sportswear and stuff, it's amazing. So it's an all year round, all kind of occasion fragrance, just like Sauvage, just like Eros. It's the same fragrance, but from another time. And this has like it's an opportunity sometimes because for us, people of a younger age, people in their 20s, we never saw that time. It was the time we were like conceived and stuff. So it, it's way back, you know. It's the 90s, it's the 80s, so it's way back. So this this fragrance where it's not, yeah, we kind of, some of our fathers were wearing it even today and perhaps in the 2000s and stuff, but yeah, in general it's kind of new. It's kind of like it's kind of has another sensibility to it because you better smell like a father, I think, than an ex. You know, it's like, okay, I'm not wanting to go into such comparisons, but there's a bad association that we have with Eros and with Sauvage. I've seen. I remember I was wearing Eros at the club years ago, and a girl was like, "Oh, you smell just like my ex," you know, and that had like a bad connotation to it. Are you the same kind of, you know, not really thought of, completely fuckboyish kind of a guy, and not necessarily, you know, but it's just that it has that association. Whereas this one, the closer you could get is probably someone from the family which who is older, but probably someone who wants to wear fragrance, so is probably also someone who takes care of his appearance, and so it has kind of a good connotation, you know, because not that many men, especially in the 80s and 90s, were wearing fragrances, and especially in Northern America. So if your father or your uncle or whatever, grandfather, I don't know, was wearing that fragrance, it was probably because he was careful of his appearance and looked good and had this like classy, clean demeanor, and you know that's a good association. That's not a bad one, you know. Even I don't know. There could be some bad associations. I'm just spreading some scenarios out there, but I think it has a new factor for our generation, and it does work differently on everyone. It has a different kind of a vibe depending on your skin, depending on even on your clothes. You know, the same scent could be interpreted in such different ways when you're wearing a tuxedo, whereas when you're wearing sportswear or a t-shirt and jeans or whatever. It just a mix, it is completely different. Just like I said, okay, perhaps older guys are wearing this, but if I wear this, I'm still looking like a younger guy because I'm a younger guy, so it's just different, and I've got different a different skin than my own father and different whatever. So it's just not the same thing. But it's, and I recommend if you're an older guy and you were rocking this in the 80s, or even you were not rocking any fragrances in the 80s, go for that. It's perfect for older, like older guys too. And I would also recommend it for women. You know, if you want to be like very, I don't know, like you like that powerful vibe. You like that powerful vibe that fragrance gives. Maybe you want a gym scent, or even you want to be like that super like a super sexy all black kind of a dress with Drakkar Noir and just give off an unreachable vibe. I don't know, something like that. It's an amazing fragrance and scents. They have no gender, so you can, everyone can just grab it and do something with it. And this one, like for real, it's a no-brainer. You can wear it with any kind of attire, any situation, any given time. It's mostly a nighttime, you would say a nighttime fragrance, but man, it's just good for everything. I use it as a gym scent. I was using it as a an evening out scent. I'm pretty sure it's really nice if you want to look professional in the office and stuff. And guys, girls, it's like it's in the idea of a masculine, you know, hairy chest action, like 80s action hero kind of a scent. And that's the thing it does for me because I really like the 80s action hero, and I'm like spraying this on and trying to like be in that persona, have this confidence, that like confidence boost. But for real, it's not, it's just a fantasy that I have because I'm a guy and I really like those 80s action heroes. But you can have your own ideal. Maybe you can think of characters that you smell it, and what characters does it put in your head, like what powerful character does it put in your head, or even not powerful, but I mean it's a very powerful, like powerful scent. And yeah, we associate it with men, but it's up to you to make the association you want. And it's clean, it's powerful, it has that dirty sexy factor. It's for everyone, and it's just wearable all the time. So, and with any kind of clothings. So rock it, and also spread love, and also spray love. Bye bye.